Welcome to Conscious Gatherers. My name is Beverly Thompson. I'm here with A.J. Royce.
Good evening.
All right, today's date is April the 18th, 2023, and this is episode 92. As always, we have much to share and more insights, and it's really, we're geared around to what is happening on Earth at this time. And then we'll get into maybe a little bit more, because I think overall it's wonderful, because a lot of people are starting to freak out with everything that's going on. And yeah, I'm not seeing that. I don't think that's necessary. So hold on, things are going to change. They may not be what you think they are, as all is being revealed. And I know we've talked about this quite a few times, and we're continuing to get more information on that. So do you have, go ahead, Royce.
No, I didn't have anything to say. I'm just over here nodding my head, but nobody can hear that.
No. All right. Yeah, looking just through notes in the past year, 2 years actually, is that, we've been getting that, this whole, government systems, et cetera, are failing basically worldwide. Our three-letter agency, I think I talked about that in the last podcast, and we can see what's going on there, and there's wonderful people in those agencies, and there's some that are maybe not so. And so I've been seeing that our whole, when I say seeing insights, as we're calling those, that our whole governmental systems are changing, and I really see that changing worldwide. Some people want one ruler. I'm not seeing that. I'm really not seeing it anywhere anymore. There may be one that is called the Prime Minister, the President, whatever terminology that country has, yet I'm seeing it more as a group that will listen to the people. And if the people are not happy with what that group has to say, I see the people starting to speak up. And we're seeing it now. But anyway, I think more are going to be speaking up and saying, no, this is not what we're talking about. Come on, let's get together and make some of these changes for the benefit of us all.
Yeah, more like a system where you have more like council kind of thing and a spokesperson.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. It's a good way to say it. Back in, let's see, just a moment here. I'm going through my notes here from the past, but I think it was back in August. And I'm bringing this up only because of what's happening with Trump, and man, they're coming at him in so many different directions, and some people are saying, "Oh, thank God, this guy's going to be gone," and I've been getting, not at all. He's not gone, and nor is he to be gone, because he is. You may or may not like him, but that's up to you. But I feel that he's. I think he said something to the fact that I'm the one in your way, and he can't be bought or sold, even though that's trying to what from the news that is out there. I think that's what they're trying to say, and I'm not seeing it at all.
Yeah.
So hang in there. I think so much more is going to spill out, and some of the information received today, both of us, really is around that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, and just a moment here. Yeah. I thought this was pretty interesting. And I did share this back in last August, but I was, again, as I was going through my notes, here's what I had written down in the days ahead. Much news surrounding DJT will come to light, He shall step forward with a torch in hand. He shall light the way, and that is for you to see your own path. Many in your governments will step aside or be forced to surrender their ways. This leaves a vacancy, yet it will not be filled as it is or once was. So, we're talking about really more committees, that sort of thing happening that will represent us all.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Knights of the Round Table, that sort of thing, where they gathered together and hashed it out.
Mm-hmm. Just the whole concept of the round table. There's nobody sitting at the head of the table. Of course, there's no head of the table. Mm-hmm. And that's really what's happening here on Earth. So, and we talked about there's no savior out there. And that can be, some people feel it's Trump. Other people, said, oh, Jesus is going to return, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, there's all these, it depends upon where you're at, where your religion is, or non-religion. But I'm not seeing anyone stepping forward to save anybody, because this is the time for full responsibility of ourselves. Yeah. And that is what's going on.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about. I mean, it's time to walk the talk, to start putting into practice what we've been talking about for years now. Yeah. And that is taking responsibility for yourself. If you want to be more, then be it. If you want to do more, then do it.
Yeah. What are we waiting for?
Yeah.
That still happens. I'm laughing because sometimes I'll say, okay, I'll just wait for that to happen, then I'll do so-and-so. And then I'm thinking, if I'm in charge of my reality, I'm the one that has to step forward to make it happen. Mm-hmm. So, and that's for everybody listening. I'm going to sit back and wait, and it doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah, the magic genie pops out of yourself.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. I'm going to share what I got, and then Royce, I would like for you to share.
Sure.
Unless you want to go first.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, this is the way we usually go. All right. In the foreseeable future, man will become quite proficient in seeing the man behind the curtain. There will be no place to hide. It will be quite eye-opening as the world begins to witness the revelations. Man cannot be held down or against their will. Yes, it still happens, but not much longer. As the truth spills out, see what truth in you spills out. Forgive all transgressions. A few will step forward, others will slink away. Those are the ones that are government, corporations, whatever it may be. Some will be stepping forward and boldly, because I did see that, and then others would they're just slinking back in the background, going away. Mm-hmm. in my vision earlier. All right. New countries shall form in the Baltic areas. That which is Ukraine will soon cease to exist. Boundaries between countries will be moved. Jubilation will ensue. A welcoming presence by the people for their neighbors. So, I do see that jubilation happening in most areas of the world as all unfolds. Be shock, and then there'll be jubilation, celebration. Then I started asking about some of the countries and continents, and just a few words on each. And I'm not quite sure the depth of all of this or what it all means, but some of you listening may. And I'm just going to go ahead and give you what I heard within myself. All right. I did ask, this came out earlier. China takeover of the USA as a question mark. this is being tried but will falter. China, in fact, is and will be going through a metamorphosis. Their people are standing up. So many people are afraid of China taking over our farmland, our corporations, coming through the border. I heard there's a huge amount of them of Chinese that want to come through the southern border, in the thousands, I guess our border patrol is getting geared up for, maybe, or not, or they're going to be let in. So I'm not sure how that's all going to unfold, but that's happening. But I don't see that really taking, China taking hold of the USA. I'm not seeing it, nor Russia, for that matter. All right. Okay, asked about Canada, government in disarray. I think we already know that. Mexico and Central America, the cartels are being shaken. That means they may seem strong right now, but I don't see that strength lasting that much longer. Whatever, the rug is being pulled out from under them, and it may all have to do with money. They're not going to be able to use the currencies as they once did as we're transitioning from the old fiat system into the asset-backed systems. Okay. All right. In Mexico and South America, many people in these countries have really a deep heart, very loving people, and they're not afraid to show it. And that's what's going to win this whole thing. South America. Seen a few more land movements. I don't think they're going to be devastating or anything like that, but there is going to be some movements. And then I heard that there's going to be underground civilizations coming forth. Lots of ships, like spaceships being seen. Now, some of them from underground, or they may be from other planets, but I think a lot of them are underground. You got any comments on that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Africa, some uprisings, some of those countries where there's a lot of bullying and the so-called caste systems, they're starting to back off. In other words, that's waning, that whole system, and the way they have tried to control the people, some of the countries control the people, is waning. Mideast, systems failing. Some groups, such as women, are stepping forward, and there's less fear of prosecution. Western Europe, change of government in almost all countries. Blending of nations, yet keeping their cultures. That's happening now. Australia and New Zealand, total collapse. However, people are very strong, and they will rebuild, and there'll be a quick rebound. A lot of fortitude by these people. I can, I can feel it. So that's pretty cool. Japan, I got the word strong. Few government officials ousted, and I believe that may be happening now also. Okay, Philippines. I was feeling that there's one, and I feel this person's male, shall become known. Like a very genius type of person. And I'm not sure in what sector, but possibly in technology. So I was trying to get more information, but it wasn't coming forth. I don't think it's to be revealed yet. So I think it's going to be something that's going to be pretty amazing. It's going to step forward with a lot of new ways of living and then make it ease of living for us all. Bringing up new inventions, that sort of thing. And then India, change is happening now. However, there's going to be a gradual move away from the old caste system, as it used to be more of a caste system. I think they have been moving away. A lot of poverty there. Yet a lot of those people don't seem to be bothered by that so much. But I feel there's going to be more for everybody, but it won't be taken when there is more wealth for these people that are living in poverty. I do feel they will use it, let's see, trying to think of the right words, gently. Does that make sense?
Are you talking about using it more in a right way?
Yeah,
wise,
yeah, wise way.
Wise way.
Yeah, wise is the word. Thank you.
Okay.
So, and so they're not going to go out and buy a mansion or whatever it may be, but, it'll be more gradual as they move out of extreme poverty into something that's a little more comfortable. But for them, I'm feeling that a lot of those people don't have that need to live more lavishly. They prefer not to. And there are a lot of people that do that, and let them be.
Yeah.
All right. That is the end of my list. So go right ahead.
All right. Here's my little bit of insight that I got the first time we meditated today. In the midst of the storm, the turbulence is the first thing which draws our attention, the swirling in degrees of intensity. But at the center of the storm is the quiet and apparent stillness, but stillness in perception only. The stillness is the vast depth of potential being realized in the internal depths of integration, the integration of a moment captured in essence, nestled sweetly between two beats of the heart. It is the space between which holds the answers to life's most precious questions. And so it is the space between the swirling and the center which holds the keys to unlock every door. The doors are there to be opened by the ones who take the time to grasp the keys. And I was thinking about this and trying to break it down to be able to more easily understand it. And what I came up with was, in between the chaos and the calm is the place where the time for contemplation and reflection take place, the time to integrate what has taken place. That's where the insights of truth are gathered. And so we make use of that, but the time to integrate seems to be the key here. We live in such a fast-moving society that sometimes we seldom take the time to reflect and to try to make sense of what just happened, so we can integrate the good parts of it and move on with that.
Good. Well, the word integrate really means a lot to me, because, hey, we're being shaken.
Yeah.
And it's going to shake a lot of people to their core because of their belief systems, what they understood, and all of a sudden we're finding out, maybe that's not exactly correct, true. And some people, it will be very hard for them to comprehend as more is revealed. And it's getting revealed and a lot of pointing the finger. It's amazing. It's all DJT's fault or whatever. You still hear that, and I'm like, oh, wow. It's like looking at yourself. What is in, what you dislike about a person can reflect what's in you.
Yes, that's right.
And
when you're pointing a finger, you have many of them pointing right back at you.
All of that is like, whoa. And so, when all of this is spilling out, which it is, and then you take the responsibility of yourself through this whole thing, and you live from that responsibility of taking care of yourself and making sure you're taken care of, and then you take care of other people too, the ones that need assistance. Then integrate love, all that sharing, that nurturing within you, and help others do the same. Does that make sense?
Here.
Yeah. So the word integration is good because that is it may take a while. So if it takes a while, so be it.
Yeah.
It's always not immediate. Usually it's not immediate. Shoot, you know.
Yeah, you have to take time, like I mentioned last time, take time to stop and smell the roses, what you have to that's when you get those clear thoughts. Things start adding up, and it's like, oh, I can see it clearly now.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
See it clearly and understand it clearly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shoot, we've been channeling, or whatever words you want to use, getting our insights for, 30 years or so. And so, going back to some of the old writings and thoughts, I didn't, even though I got a lot of information, I really didn't understand all what it said.
Yeah, me too. And you read back over it, and it's like, whoa. Yeah. That makes perfect sense today.
Yes, it did not make that much sense 30 years ago.
Yeah,
but it does today. And so it's that, how much, all the integration throughout the years, and now you're starting to see it and you're starting to feel it and know it. All these knowings that come into ourselves. And people say, well, how'd you learn that? I just know it. And that does happen.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
So, all right, do you have more to share here?
Yes, I have a list of things, like you had a list. It was just mostly just a few words, but this was the second meditation. Tonight, momentous. Stay close. Walls are falling. Disclosure, disclosure, disclosure. And that came to me like a 3-tiered kind of thing. Time to reevaluate. Coming attractions. Ice cream falls off the cone. And you can let your mind wander about that one. Searing details. Track record disclosed. And then quiet. All is quiet. Rebound. Momentous. So it looks to me like we've been saying that, things get a little rocky, but it will, as our parents used to say, it'll come out in the wash. So just be patient. Keep your thoughts as clear as possible. Discern what's really true. And stay the course.
Be loving with yourself.
Yeah.
Please. I was having a conversation with a small group yesterday, and this one lady had talked about, she used to be very self-deprecating. And then she learned that she got what she wished for. And then, it's not the words that she used, but she no longer does that. And so if you find yourself doing that, just, put that marker up and say, no more.
Yeah.
Because you're absolutely beautiful, beautiful, divine people.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how much I have learned myself from, it's from the opposite thing that I would have wanted, but it's exactly what I drew toward myself. But out of that experience came the understanding of how things work. We do draw things to us. So it's wise to put a little bit of thought into that. Be careful what you draw towards yourself. What you repeat, what you keep in your thoughts, that's going to keep coming.
Words.
Yep.
Yeah, well, thoughts become your words. And if you're saying it, that means you're still thinking it. Yeah. And so if you're drawing that to you, is that really what you want? And then you look at the whole thing as a soul person, S-O-U-L, and that we're living this life on this planet as part of the great experiment that we help put into place. And it's like, oh, okay, we did this for our total soul, whole of ourselves. That makes sense. WHOLE. And so when you look at that, then it's quite a blessing what we're going through, even though we're like, oh, really? Even though you may not like it. But and then you start looking at it from a whole different viewpoint because of what we put into place, and now we're seeing the whole thing change over. I don't think we're a prison planet. A lot of people say that, and I think, no.
No, I don't. I think there's been a lot of experimentation that's taken place here.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't see it as a prison planet. I think we do that to ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Good way to put it. Well, again, exciting times. Just going into some of the writings I did back in '03, and how ourselves coming back. We go to the future. We go Back to the Future. I don't know. It's like what? We can go forward to go back, and the timeline jumping, as we've used those words.
Yeah.
And it could be within this lifetime or another lifetime. We think we're linear, but we can go back in time. I mean, it's just like what?
Yeah. Yeah, and that we have the technology to do these things, but what we're talking about now is the things that come naturally to us. Excuse me, as we evolve as the beautiful, marvelous beings that we are.
We are. Just think of it. Think of these bodies. I mean, they're quite miraculous. Every cell in our body, every gene, every atom, every proton. I mean, you can keep going and going.
And it's all conscious.
Yeah. And the last podcast, you said, okay, talk to parts of your body.
Yeah.
And love it. Maybe hurting. Then you talk to it, and then, okay, what do you need? And then let that information come into you so you can do something about it.
Yes, express your desires to your body. I've been starting above the top of my head and going down to the tips of my toes, talking to my body about, okay, this is what needs to be taken care of. This is what I want. So let's get on this.
You do something about it.
Yeah.
Or are doing something about it.
That's right.
And then allow it to happen.
Yes.
Versus instant manifestation.
Yep. And so what if the next day you wake up and that same place is still hurting or whatever? Just do your best to not verbalize it all over the place, because that's the thing that draws it back. It seals it back in. So give your body a break. Let the pains ease out, Yeah.
A lot of people are waiting for the med beds, and which I understand as a savior of being whole again and healthy, which I understand that these can do. Yet I'm thinking, well, why are we waiting? That's another waiting game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, can't we do something? Our consciousness is the technology. I mean, we're incredible, absolutely incredible beings that we were made and then volunteered to come on this earth. And so, it's quite a tool that we have, or we are a tool, or technology, the greatest technology ever. So, anyway, use it.
Yes, and, I'm going to draw attention to this, but the more we listen to things like the news, where you have one program after another repeating the same thing, and you're taking all of that in, and along with all of the emotions and all that come with it, you're reinforcing your body with turmoil. So give it a break. back off. Allow yourself to focus on what we are really striving to do on this planet. And it's to make it that glorious, beautiful place that it always has been, but to uncover all the garbage that's been forced upon it, and upon ourselves. We don't need to do that anymore. We can do better than this.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us this evening. Our next episode, again, this is episode 92. Next episode is going to be on May the 2nd. And any comments, we would love to hear from you all. And you can make those comments on our YouTube channel page. We appreciate those that do write in.
Yes, and I have not responded. This is going to sound really stupid, but I'm not signed up to do so. So I will take care of that.
On YouTube.
Yes, yes. So I do appreciate the comments that you guys have been leaving. And I know that there are a lot of people that are lifting us up in their thoughts, hearing it too.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. We appreciate that very much.
We get buzzing in our ears.
Yes, and it's pretty
outrageous
right now.
It's pretty high right now, so I'm not sure if that's what we're talking about or cell towers. But, I know Royce is much more sensitive than I am and can hear the cell towers quite easily.
We were eating lunch today, and I got this outrageous sound in my right ear, and it was the a few doors down, I believe, is where the fire department was, and
that's what you heard.
Very soon thereafter, the trucks took off. So, I hear what I hear. I don't know why.
I think she has dog ears.
I know.
Yeah, I'm really actually very happy I don't have that issue. So, because I know what she's going through. That's I can't say I know, but it's a lot of high pitched noises that I can't hear. But I'm getting them now, so I think it might be what we're talking about. So, we do get these messages, the ear ringing, the feeling of energy, which, happens with us, especially when we get together and like, okay, what's going on? And we finally figure it out. And we won't go into all that, but that does happen, and just be aware of it, If it's uncomfortable, then you can ask it to leave. Otherwise, it's not. I felt this was for us. So it's like more amazing stuff that is like, wow, the more that we just see a lot,
yeah.
I would love, someday we'll be able to, I feel we're going to be totally open to speak at all, because right now we can't. So,
that's right.
Well, we choose not to, put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, we always can, but no, not yet, until we can do everything freely, and that's on its way. And so we'll be able, hopefully, be able to do that soon. Right? Yeah, I went there. All right. All right. Well, thank you very much. And if you want to contact Royce, myself, or Terry Palma, you can dial 864-999-3008. And you're also can listen live, and you'll see all that information on our YouTube page with the phone number and the access code. It's under free conference call. And then we have a gentleman that transfers it over to YouTube for us. So
thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. So we thank you all again, and see what happens in the next 2 weeks. It's more exciting times, more disclosure, and like disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
And ice cream falls off the cone. That's kind of interesting, but as you said, you can figure that one out. So, interesting times, and we're preparing ourselves, and understand all is to be revealed. No more of this crap.
Yeah, we've been asking for this for a very long time, And so when the so-called crap goes deep, it takes a little bit of time for it to get out of there.
Okay. All right. Well, you're all beautiful. Do remember that. And know it.
You know, when you know something, the whole air around you shifts. And people start looking at you differently. So before you go out the door, or even if you just stay in your house all day, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you are amazing. Just simply amazing. And keep saying it until you actually feel it. And before long, you will know it. And it'll be amazing to see what happens.
And with all of us knowing how amazing we are, the world will change.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really. It's going to be even more beautiful than it is now. Even though right now, I call it crazy times.
Crazy times on a beautiful planet.
Yeah, it really is. Gorgeous planet.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, and good night.
I love you, babes. Good night.